Hey guys, I want to come and do a video response to Kay at Shem Academy. She recently did a video talking about grieving while homeschooling, and I want to talk about grieving in a different way. Grieving your special needs child, but they're still alive. So what I mean is grieving the loss or the idea of the child that you thought you were going to have before they became special needs, or like in our case, grieving a child that was for a little while, typical, but then had an accident and from there became special needs. So basically what I'm saying, like for us, big guy was born premature, but he was doing things that a typical baby should be doing. Looking around, smiling, responding to us, tracking things, making the baby noises, eating by mouth, drinking by mouth, just the things that little babies do as they're developing. But at 7 months, he had an accident which caused cardiac arrest, and it caused him to have his his current condition. So that can be hard for parents. And I'm saying this because I've recently come to see that there's a lot more parents that are trying to homeschool their special needs child. And it can also be challenging when you have other kids and those kids are typical and doing the things that we can do, but then your special needs child can't do, or they may have limitations in doing it. So we grieve, and you grieve the loss of that idea that this child was supposed to be able to do those things. Or for example, with little, he may do something or say something or be put in a certain situation, and there's been times where I've thought to myself, I wonder how Biggs would have handled that at 3 years old. Or I wonder how Biggs would have handled that, at 1. But you deal with those emotions when they come. And you have to learn to move on and appreciate, where your child is at now. There was a time where it was challenging and very difficult for me and my husband to look at pictures of our oldest son when he was a baby. Because in those pictures, he's smiling at us. He's touching our face. He's eating food. He's making faces. And it was hard after his accident to go back and look at those pictures. I mean, he was just at the point to where he was trying to roll over. And to go from that to now, your child has vision impairment. He was diagnosed with a seizure disorder, tube fed, development delayed. Don't know if he's gonna be able to walk now. Don't know if he's gonna be able to talk. It was hard. It was very, very hard and challenging. But we dealt with those emotions. And now that he's a teenager, I don't say that those feelings don't come back, because I'd be lying, but they're not as much as they used to be for us, because this Biggs that we have now, we had him so much longer than the typical baby, typically developing baby that he was when he was little. So I don't really get too concerned or have too many thoughts about, oh, he's 13, what should he be doing now? I'm just thankful that he's doing. I'm I'm just thankful that he has life. I'm just thankful that he still knows I'm his mom. That's something the doctors told us when he was in a coma, that if he came out, he wasn't going to know us. But he knows I'm his mom. He knows who his dad is. He knows who his grandmother is. He knows who his uncles are. He knows his little brother. Which, I mean, all of this happened way before little was even thought about. But I'm happy about those things. So I don't really get caught up on, oh, he's 13, what should he be doing? And honestly, to a certain degree, it's kind of a blessing because we don't have to deal with that right now. You know, we don't have to deal with girls and what other people think and stuff like that, because Biggs does not care. All he cares about is the love of mommy, daddy, brother, and close people around him that have shown, you know, love for him. That's what he cares about. And we see life so differently with having him. He's made us appreciate things that we may take for granted. And sometimes we still do. But looking at him and how he's persevered through some trying times for his young life, it makes us thankful. But I just want to encourage any of you new homeschooling families that have special needs kids, have those moments where, when those thoughts of what if and why and, you know, I was hoping he or she would have been doing this, have those moments, deal with them, and then I would encourage you to move on and look at the positive, look at the beauty of the child you have now, and be strengthened by their spirit of resilience, their spirit to persevere. Think about things that they couldn't do a year ago, a couple of years ago, and they may be able to do it now. Maybe your child was completely nonverbal, where they weren't making any sounds, and maybe now they're making some noises. Appreciate that. For us, again, it's knowing that he knows who we are. He has his moments where he lets us know how he feels with his sounds and his body language, or that he wants attention, and he's very adamant about it. And we're thankful for that, because it's like he's communicating like, hey, I'm over here. Come spend some time with me. You know, and when we acknowledge him and say, hey, you know what, mommy hears you. Just give me a couple moments, I'll be with you. Or, dad, you know, I hear you, big guy. And to see him respond with a smile like, they hear me. And when we come and hang, spend that time with him, he loves it. So it's a process. It's a continual process. Then you also there's another part of the grieving process. And that's when you tell your other kids that you may have that may be typical, when you decide they're old enough to understand what happened to their sibling. And then you gotta help them, you know, deal with their emotions and their questions. So it's an ongoing process, but just stay positive, and we just need to be thankful for the lives that they have, and also the quality of life that we're trying to give them. So with that, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.